guys, Mike here, The Fresh Rinse. It's been a while since I've been this excited about a product release. I think the last time that I was this jazzed had to be when we released the Cheap Shot itself. And now coupled with the Cheap Shot is the Fresh Stream Soft Wash Remote System. And this is the official release video for the Fresh Stream Remote System. So let's get right into it. I'm going to not only show you the complete system and try to answer as many questions as I can before you even ask them, but we're also going to demo the remote system, do a little distance test, all that kind of stuff. But if you still have questions, feel free to ask the questions. There's no question that you can ask that is unwarranted. So know that you'll not be criticized for asking questions. All right, here we go. Here we have the Fresh Stream remote system. This is designed for the Cheap Shot, but by and large, it will work with just about any type of soft wash unit where that you want to turn on and off just the chemical itself. We have some other advancements that are in the works and will be released soon for other remote control issues or situations that you may have. But this is designed, as you can see, for the Cheap Shot. And I'm very excited about this because this is going to serve several purposes. Obviously, most importantly, you don't have to go back and forth to the truck to turn on and off your chemical. It works much like the Flow Pro or other remote control setups. This for soft wash, not for downstreaming yet. The key and operative word there is yet. But then secondly, for the Cheap Shot, if you're using the 79cc motor and pump from Harbor Freight, this allows you to cut off the soap from the ladder, from the other side of the house, so that you can spray a few seconds, get only fresh water into the system, thus allowing you to be off the trigger a little bit longer. Now I want to say right off the cuff that this is not an end-all to your situation where that you find it to be a necessity to have no pressure on the system. You still have to release pressure from any soft wash, in particular gas motor or pump, and the Cheap Shot is no different. So this is how it works. You're going to hook this up. It's super simple. There will be instructions that come with the Fresh Stream remote system, but it truly is very simple. And I'll show it to you here in just a moment on my current truck. But yeah, so you can, with the click of a button, you can change from soap to water and from water to soap. At 200 feet, it's going to take about 40 seconds to transition from water to soap and from soap to water. But yeah, that's how it works. It really is super simple. These are on the website, ReadyWashSystems.com currently, and we have a great many of these in stock, and we will continue to keep these in stock. I have been testing my personal setup, which is exactly like what you see here, for the last month, and I have had zero issues. Not one problem, not 10 problems. I'm telling you, I've had zero issues with the Fresh Stream. So what do you get with your Fresh Stream remote system? You obviously get the box itself with all of the unit included. Everything, as you see right here, will come directly to your home just as you see it. Inside and behind the unit here is where all of the guts and glory is for the Fresh Stream. You can change the light strobe setting with a click of a button, and there are a dozen or so different settings that you can change if you're so inclined to do so. It comes standard with just a stock setting, but you can change it if you are so inclined. Simply, wrong finger. Simply turn it on right here, and then you can turn it on and off with your remote control. It comes with 2 remote controls with batteries, and so these will all be programmed automatically to your Fresh Stream. If you were to lose your remote controls, something were to happen to them, you were to damage them, you can purchase more and to program them with The remote system is super, super simple. Of course, instructions will come with this. Now, let me say while it's on my mind that I am in the process of putting together a great many videos that will just be live on the channel so that you can watch them anytime, not only for the Cheap Shot, but also for the Fresh Stream. And so if you have questions, you might be able just to watch the video. If you're like me, I'm a very visual and hands-on learner. You can tell me things over the phone or email. I just don't get things like that. That's not how I learn. So having the videos is going to make it super, super simple for you. But I like the fact that you can turn this on once after you get this hooked up to your Cheap Shot or your soft wash machine, and you never have to touch it again. The idea is that it's ready to wash and that you never have to open up this box. Ideally, you'll never have to open up the box. From that point on, at the end of every day or the end of every wash, you simply turn off the remote, and this goes into off mode, which shuts off your chemical. We'll talk more about that when we look at it on the rig, so don't go anywhere. Okay, here in a few moments we're going to do a distance test. I'm going to show you how this works from a distance. It's pretty darn cool. I'm confident you will like it. You see that I have mine mounted here behind my Cheap Shot. That's not ideal. I've discovered that since, because when I'm over here washing, if I need to see it, I can't. Ideally, it's going to be up here somewhere, like my Flow Pro is right here. I may just bump that out and have that remote box right beside of my my Flow Pro box. But you'll want to mount that where you can see it clearly. As I said before, each system comes with 2 remotes, and you can see that there's an indicator light on the remote, so you can see if in fact it makes connection. But sometimes we just want to see it, and as I said before, if you were to open up the box and take out the unit there that you see, there's a simple button that allows you to change the different strobe setting. This is just an even blue and white setting. You can have it interchanged, and there's a multitude of different settings if you're so inclined. I don't know why that would matter, but it's there if you need it, and that's actually extra work on our part to make that possible for you. I have mine again quick connected right to the box and then underneath my Cheap Shot, and then I have my remote itself right here on the unit. This is what I would advise. However, you can run it anywhere. You can put it anywhere between the chemical tank and this chem valve. I choose to have it right here, and because I think that this is the best place, with your remote system you will receive the hardware necessary to make this an easy setup for you. At the end of every wash, or whenever I just want to transition from chemical to water for the purpose of rinsing, simply hit the off button. It goes into off mode, and this turns off the flow of SH through this line. And when you order a Cheap Shot, as a caveat here, you can elect to have a fresh flush system, which allows you to flush the system out. Either that, or you get the transfer station, and there's no additional cost at this point. We may have to adjust that cost a little bit in the future to account for hose that will be needed to make that a possibility, but that's a secondary issue. But you can rinse out the SH line simply by turning on the valve, and then with the trigger pulled, this is in chem mode right here, chem setting, you simply put it over here to water. You can see that my last wash, I flushed out the system, and it simply flushes out with a hose that comes from the buffer tank through the SH line. Now, instead of pulling SH, you're pulling water, flushing out the system, keeping chemical out of the chem line. Okay, now we're going to do a distance test with the Fresh Stream remote system. I'm going to walk about 350 feet across the parking lot, and we're going to zoom in. I'm going to show you how well this works. Now, I only keep 200 feet of 3/4 inch garden hose for the Cheap Shot on a reel at any given time. Most are going to use 200 feet, but this will show you the distance at 350 feet. So I'm going to step off here. When we come back, we'll test the Fresh Stream remote system at 350 feet. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so here we are at 350 plus feet away. I actually wheeled it off with my measuring wheel quite some time ago at about this dirt spot that you see there is 350 feet. So we are beyond that. I do have the remote in hand with the antenna pulled. I'm going to zoom in here and you can see that the light is currently on. See that? All right, so that means that it is in chem mode. So chemical would be flowing through the system at that time. And then we will hit the off button and you can see that it is now in rinse mode. So now we have no chemical flowing through the Cheap Shot, only water. It simply turns off the SH line. We'll do that again. I'm going to zoom in and then we will show you in action here. Pressing the on button now, and you see the light is on. So now the line is open. It is pulling chem, or would be, and then we turn it off. The line closes, and now we are rinsing only. So only pulling water. I know the volume of this changes when I zoom in, so I apologize. Once again, feel free to ask questions. Let's go back to the shop. All right, as we said before, the Fresh Stream remote system is currently online, ready to be purchased. What you see here, and then many, many others we have in stock, and then countless more being made as we speak. So many of you have said, Mike, please let me know when these are going to be available. I have to have one, and for that, I'm extremely grateful. You have followed the success literally over just a few months of what we've went from nothing to the Cheap Shot, to hose reels, to the remote systems, and we've got big announcements coming up. I mean, in fact, it looks like we will be moving from this shop, even though we just got the SH and all this hooked up and ready to go. We're going to be moving from this. It's apparent that we will be very, very soon because of some big announcements that we're going to be making very, very soon. With the Fresh Stream, once again, you get the box, of course. You get the remote ball valve, all of the harnessing and wiring that goes with it, the necessary plumbing to make it easy for you to connect your ball valve to the Cheap Shot, 2 remote controls with batteries, and then of course the hardware to connect the box to your wall of choice. I said it before, I'll say it again. There are no dumb questions, and then I will also add to that, there will be no insults added to our answers. So there are no dumb questions, and there are no insults added to our answers. Ask the questions. We'll do our very best to get back to you in a timely fashion. Go ahead on this site or on this video right now in the comments section. Ask the questions, and then others can look through the comments, and maybe their questions will be answered as well. Hey, I really appreciate you watching. It means the world to me, and I'm super, super excited about the future. Our hope, I'm going to close with this. Our hope is to deliver the very best possible customer service. I'm not suggesting it's the best product. I'm not suggesting that it's flawless. I'm not suggesting that anything that we're doing here at Ready Wash Systems is without error or that it's perfect. What I'm saying is we are in control of our reaction to your questions, to your concerns, to your criticisms, to your celebrations, and all of the above. I can't control if there are mishaps. We know that in life, nothing is perfect, but I am in control of how I respond to you. And so there are no dumb questions and there are no insults added to answers. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, this is the Fresh Rinse Media channel. We believe in you. We appreciate you. Mike, the Fresh Rinse. See you at the top. Don't be late.